Am I festive enough, guys? I don't know. I think I need some more shamrocks or something.
Yeah, you can put your hands together wherever you are. That's not me. That's some other dude. That's a guy by the name of Chris Osmond. Chris Osmond, I do believe, is playing a gig out on the west coast of the island this evening. Good luck to you, Chris, if you're listening, or if you get a chance to listen to it later. Break a leg, buddy, or hopefully your leg is healing up nicely. One or the other. Hey, everybody. My name is James PFP. This is the Banjocast, Pitchforks and Flaming Torches. Picking up where I left off in the last couple of streams. Got some work to do involving Blender. I say it and it sounds like I'm so enjoying it, doesn't it? Doesn't it sound like I'm just having a ball in Blender? No, but Blender's excellent. Blender is my favorite. Totally is. Just going to see something here. Go back to the live control room and see what it reports. Yeah. May experience buffering. Whatever. Whatever, guys. Whatever. So, yeah, I'm using Blender to do some video editing work. And I'm going to be doing it in front of you. I'm going to be doing it right out in the open. And luckily, what I did was I did all of the hard work at the very beginning of the process was a little bit of time ago. I'm going to switch over to this window for a second. May work well in here tonight. Or this could cause a crash too. If the stream suddenly cuts off, don't panic. I'll be right back. And I'll turn it on. So here's Blender. What I've been doing in this particular instance of Blender is I took a wild guess as to how long it would take me to do it. Let me explain it. I have a numbered list of reasons why American Sniper didn't deserve any Oscars. I did it up a long time ago. And I've got a whole bunch of stuff which I've already recorded to a video file. The script I've just finished recording. That's why you might have noticed there's a difference in audio quality between last stream and this one. I'm using a better, higher audio quality. You can see the little ninja there on the screen right now. I'm going to go over to the labs because it'll be easier to see me. And here in labs, we've got an actual chat room loaded up. Anyone in the chat, hello? Anyone wants to say hello? You can distract me. What I did in the last two streams was spend my time going through the 2 hours of travesty to get a bunch of still shots to use as the video part, and I've just finished recording, as I say, the audio portion. So what I'm going to do now is go get that audio file, which I think I recorded to OBS Rec, and it would be the last one. It would have been recorded today, yeah, and it should be about 50 minutes long, and it is. Look at that. So I'm going to copy that and paste that there. And here's the length of the video project that I need to worry about. And you might notice too that I've done it, I recorded it here using OBS. So you can see on the screen here there's a separate me working away doing his thing. And this is at 15 frames a second here. Custom frame rate, 15 frames a second. I don't need the frames. I really don't need the frames to work out here. I totally could do this. I'll go to 30 frames a second. Notice that the audio is now twice as long because they needed more frames in the first place. Copy V, get the end there, snap it. I'll put up a effect strip speed controller. So now at least the audio and the video will work once more. I can play it and scrub it through like this. And since I'm not using anybody's particular copyrighted content, it owes more to Warner Brothers than it does to the Bible. Thank you. Cartoon morality is what deacons do best. I don't even need the video here. All I need is the audio. I want the audio clips, and I'll work on the video afterward. So let me make this window a little bit smaller. I'm going to grab that on the Y, move it up a level, grab on the Y, move it down one. So the video, I don't need to see this one at all. Hey Hilljack, welcome. I'm working on a project here, Hilljack. It's been on the stream the last couple days. If you've been following along on your own time, that's cool. If you haven't, you can see what we're doing tonight as it happens. And I need to go back to Fufferpish. Renders AS stills. So I noticed something when I was recording this. I can put this little text file off to one side here. I want to see this for a second. I want to see the waveform. I'm going to be using the waveform as a visual indicator of where to make cuts in this one strip, because some of the audio I don't want. I want only the audio portions which flow into what I'm doing. I can also see that my volume levels changed. Any snow up here yet? Yes, actually there was. There was, Hilljack. Had a big storm there, what, about a week ago now? 5 days at least. It's been stuck around too, like it didn't melt away. But we haven't got any frost in the ground, so it will melt away the minute it snaps warm. Got about a foot of snow, maybe, foot and a half. Haven't had to shovel for the last several days. That's a good thing. The city was Johnny on the spot with it too. Oh, they were waiting for it. Oh. I'm in the wrong window. So I'll go back to the beginning of this here file, see? And I'm going to zoom in because I can tell what parts I might want and what parts I won't want. We can now listen to what I recorded earlier. I literally just finished it. Finished it before I started streaming so that I wouldn't have to record and stream at the same time. Okay, for the benefit of like simplicity itself, I think I'm going to record this way. Got to do the recording of the audio portion for the video I'm working on. So I'm going to do it here in the dark room, and then I'll take this file into Blender later and not stream this. We'll still be able to hear it on the stream. I'm thinking about another thing too. I'm going to try it for a little while and see how it goes. A numbered list of reasons why American Sniper didn't deserve any Oscars. There we go. That worked. And see how it goes. So here's the first cut that I'll be making. And as I say, I don't need to change anything in the video or in this pink strip, which is the speed corrected video. I only need to work with this audio this time. This audio will be what determines how the video plays. There won't be any, there's no need of any explanation in the video. I'm going to let it stand for what it is by itself. A numbered list of reasons why American Sniper didn't deserve any Oscars. Dateline February 23rd, 2015 at 3:33 p.m. for Tuesday. That seems awful quiet. That's what it seems to me. Might want to turn that up. How about for you, Hilljack? You seen a lot of it yet? I hear it was snow as far south as Florida. 3:33 p.m. for Tuesday. So here's a cut. Shift K because I want to hard cut this part, and then I'm going to play forward. Side note, before I get any further. Werner Herzog. Werner Herzog. No, Werner Herzog reporting, right? I've been sitting on this list for... I can snap to here now. So this is the next sequence that I'll be using in audio. I've been sitting on this list for over a month, waiting to read the list of Oscar winners this morning. And then I started seeing posts about how this film was robbed. So please, about how this film was robbed. A little coming Christmas Eve, heavy rain tonight, tomorrow. Oh. Well, that's it. You're gonna get some. You're gonna have to get some real cold for that rain to be any benefit to you. If you want the snow to stay, I'm gonna tell you. I warned people up here. I told them a week ago, if you're expecting this to stay for a white Christmas, don't hold your breath. If we get 3 evenings of overcast weather with warm enough days, it'll all melt, every bit of it. We're nowhere near far enough north for it to stay. My dear friends, and anyone else who cares to listen or read, here's a labor of love that took hours to type out and edit, unlike the fucking travesty that is the screenplay. By the way, when I did up the list, I was most impressed that I apparently shot up the script more times than Kyle had kills in Iraq. There we go. That's a hard cut there. The opening titles use a Muslim calling the faithful to prayer with Allahu Akbar in order to create false tension. Gee, hasn't Eastwood come a long way as a director? Roll eyes. No. Okay, I'm going to actually back this up. The cut here didn't need to be made. So I'm going to undo the cut there. Wait for this to update again. The opening titles use a Muslim calling the faithful to prayer with Allahu Akbar in order to create false tension. Gee, hasn't Eastwood come a long way as a director? Roll eyes. Number 1. Fucking hotbox. Dirt here tastes like shit, says the guy who will later be lying in a puddle of his own piss. Number 2. Obvious spotter with a cell phone. ROEs say don't shoot, even though everyone in the audience knows he's a spotter. In this way, we can pretend the ROEs were dumb too. Number 3. Okay. Some of these places I'm going to be removing some small parts of audio. Other places I won't be. And I'm wondering right now if I would be better off trying to start placing some of the video information that I'll be using in the end over the audio which goes with it. So, for example, I need to cover 10 seconds of screen time here at the beginning with something other than film, like shots from the film that I'm using. And then here, and then I started seeing posts about how this film was robbed. So please, to my dear friends and anyone else who cares to listen or read, here's a labor of love that took hours to type out and edit, unlike the fucking travesty that is the screenplay. By the way, when I did up the list, I was most impressed that I apparently shot up the script more times than Kyle had kills in Iraq. The opening titles use a Muslim calling the faithful to prayer with Allahu Akbar in order to create false tension. Gee, hasn't Eastwood come a long way as a director? Roll eyes. Eyes. So here would be a logical spot to actually put in a cut. I'm going to grab that and limit it to the X. You can see as I cut off the waveform, I'll be removing audio there, but I don't necessarily want to do that. I do want there to be a more obvious break, like a silence. Number 1, which I could remove, and it's about a second long. Fucking hotbox. Could do it here too. Dirt here tastes like shit, says the guy who will later be lying in a puddle of his own piss. Shift K is what I'm using, is the tool command. I'm grabbing with G and limiting to the X axis with X key. It doesn't really matter here when I grab the end. Can only move in the X direction. Number 2. Obvious spotter with a cell phone. ROEs say don't shoot, even though everyone in the audience knows he's a spotter. In this way, we can pretend the ROEs were dumb too. Number 3. So yeah, the whole idea here, Jack, is I wrote this document back in 2015. And it's a numbered list of reasons why I think it was an obvious never going to happen for the people that were disappointed with the idea of American Sniper not winning a lot of Oscars. It wasn't going to win any Oscars. It couldn't. The reason why I really care about it, though, is detailed in some of these reasons. It's kind of hidden. It's kind of hidden away. It's kind of, you got to pull it, you got to tease out the truth, right? But the one fact I think is really bears repeating, the one thing I should probably say so that everybody gets why I'm doing it. When Kyle, in his book, Kyle says directly and without any prevarication that when he enlisted, when he volunteered, he asked for an intelligence job. And he makes a joke about it in the book too, like I didn't get accepted, I wasn't smart enough kind of thing. But I'm not sure that's the truth. I think maybe he got the job he asked for. Wouldn't surprise me at all. And if so, that would probably also explain why Jesse Ventura ended up being targeted by him in the book. And it pretty much stopped Ventura from running for president as a consequence. In this way, we can pretend the ROEs were dumb too. Number 3. A wrist bandolier, clearly visible, product placement, and not chronologically correct. Kyle mentioned it. There's a cut, gotta come out here. Kyle mentioned it. Kyle mentions it in the book. So do I want the video or not? I'm thinking probably I don't. Kyle mentions it in the book. Kyle mentions it in... Early on as I was recording it, I was trying to do this Werner Herzog thing. It didn't quite work. Kyle mentions it in the book. Specifically how he invented it and sells them at his sniper school business. Number 4. Shift K here, looking for a grab piece. I'm going to bring it back just a little. Number 4. Eyes on this. Can you confirm? No is the answer. There's a witness right next to him, and the witness doesn't have a pair of binoculars. Number 5. One of the funnier scenes actually in the early part of the story is he's got his shooter. Kyle's a sniper for whatever reason. Not during his first tour, I might add. But Kyle's a sniper, so as he's doing his thing, he's got a spotter right next to him. He's got a buddy who's a spotter. The spotter would have a set of glasses and the rangefinders and yada yada. But the spotter that he has in the first scene doesn't have any glasses. Number 5. He knows it all without even looking. It's his first kill. Then cut back to deer hunting. No apologies to Michael Camino, and none to Homer either, who uses in medias res way better. Number 6. Cutting here, moving that back a little bit. I can see that there's lots of spots where there's gaps, but the gaps won't be too terrible. I like having some time in here. Don't leave your rifle in the dirt, says Dad. And it's not in the book. And only in the movie to foreshadow a later scene when Kyle leaves his rifle in the sand, which is also not in the book. Number 7. Some of them make me laugh when I think about it. The stuff that they wanted to do so terribly and they couldn't haul it off. They couldn't make it work. And which is also not in the book. Number 7. The preacher on Paul is more annoying and dangerous than the Muslims calling the faithful to prayer. Probably true. Number 8. There's 3 kinds of people in this world, son. Sheep, wolves, and sheepdogs. Not only is this not in the book, but it obviously owes more to Warner Brothers than it does to the Bible. Cartoon morality is what deacons do best. Funny but true. Not in the book. Certainly not that lesson, the lesson sheepdogs. Number 9. And wolves. Shooting the rodeo. Number 10. Number 10. Rodeo belt buckles are to ensure a sex life. Shooting the rodeo. That was funny. I gotta say thank you to Red Letter Media for that one. Number 11. Why do you think I do this, huh? I do it to get attention. So much for drama and for acting. Number 12. That does sound like Werner Herzog. Sorry. Think this is gonna work. Number 12. Righteous indignation because he watches CNN whenever he can't find Fox on the television. Number 13. Recruitment. I don't quit. Number 14. Buds. Basic underwater demolitions. Not chronologically accurate. Number 15. How old are you, boy? You're going to start coyote. Do we have this discussion already about the Joe Rogan shouldn't hunt coyotes to call them back argument? Because I don't know where I stand on that yet. I don't know what the truth of that is, but it seems to me to be an interesting theory. That if you kill them, if you call them back, if you go after them for whatever reason, you take a chance in causing the population to explode. Which would be counterintuitive, biologically speaking. To cause why would a population explode if the food supply doesn't allow for it? Anyway, long goddamn discussion that one. Is there a season for coyotes there? Here we have like a general call. It's a general bounty. How old are you, boy? 30. Accurate. Number 15. How old are you, boy? 30. Not according to the book, he wasn't. Number 16. Biggles, a.k.a. Job, doesn't follow the story of the book at all. Number 17. The end of Hell Week, as if that was the end of training. Number 18. Meet Taya, plus the idiot who strikes out first. Number 19. The charming redneck joke. Number 19. Ow! The charming redneck joke. Reasons why it wasn't winning any Oscars. I'm not saying it wasn't a good movie. I am saying it wasn't going to win any Oscars. Kyle defends his patriotism, but not his behavior. Number 21. Number 21. Introduce booze, then show his sensitivity by making sure she doesn't get puke in her hair. Ah, he really cares. One of the funnier scenes there. I got a whole bunch of shots for that sequence. I need a longer clip to cover the difference for all of those. So there'll be one every couple seconds. It'll be a different still shot every couple seconds for that part. Number 22. Sniper School. The film doesn't mention that Kyle signed up for an intelligence job when he was volunteered. Well, I'm sorry. The film doesn't mention that Kyle signed up for an intelligence job when he was volunteered. Well, I'm sorry. The film doesn't mention that Kyle signed up for an intelligence job when he volunteered. And the book explicitly states that Kyle wasn't trained as a sniper until after his first tour of duty. Yeah, the movie, I'm going to tell you, Hilljack, if you haven't read the book yet, I would read the book before I watch the movie and then wonder why absolutely none of the details in the book. If he had this intelligence position all along, that would explain why he's encouraged to write a book when he's finished, especially considering he's got the supposed nickname tacked on him, the Legend, because that wasn't his original nickname, also mentioned in the book. He had more than one alias. He was known as Tex, and then known as the Legend. And if none of the details in the book end up being in the movie, what's the possible reason they're going to argue? Well, we can't put these real details about real people, but he's already dead. You're not protecting anything by not telling the truth of it. So if the book was never true in the first place, that explains the movie. It's an interesting comparison, the two of them. The things that the movie says other people says, but Kyle himself says in the book, is throughout the movie. People saying shitty things so that Kyle doesn't have to be seen saying them when he himself is the one who says them in the book. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. I mean incredible in the not credible way. Until after his first tour of duty. The film doesn't mention that Kyle signed up for an intelligence job when he was volunteered. Well, I'm sorry. When he volunteered, it's not when he was. The differences are, oh man, it's beyond Hollywood weird. It was Warner Brothers specifically who released it. And for all of the different product placement that's in the movie, not once is the NRA mentioned, but the NRA has been the one group, the one lobby group, which the wife, the surviving wife, she's been with them the whole way. So why else are they interested in protecting all of these specific things with their own weight, right? It's beyond Hollywood weird. Or Hollywood weird. Just a little bit beyond. Like I say, why did Kyle in the book decide to pick a slander or defamation? It wasn't slander, it wasn't defamation. Not really, not with Jesse Ventura, but it ends up going to court anyway. What he said was that he punched him out. How is that slanderous or defamation? How is it libel? None of them, right? And yet he still took him to court for having used his image. And this is after he's dead, right? It's incredible. I'm telling you, Ventura was prevented from running for president partly by what happened with Chris Kyle. It's incredible. Again, incredible. The film doesn't mention that Kyle signed up for an intelligence job when he volunteered. And the book explicitly states that Kyle wasn't trained as a sniper until after his first tour of duty was over. The book does mention that he signed up for an intelligence job. Number 23. Number 23, then right afterward, the 23 Enigma. Makes me laugh just thinking about it. I'm going to save that little bit at the beginning of this sequence. You can see it on the waveform there on down here in the window. This is where it says the book does state it explicitly that he signed up for an intelligence job. Number 23. phone calls to Taya. If it wasn't for phone calls, they might never have talked to one another, is the implication. Number 24. Dr. Phil Kyle. That's a shitty thing to say. Kyle says loads of shitty things in the book. Kyle says loads of shitty things in the book. The stuff he says in the book is incredible. There's one sequence in the book where he starts making Hilljack, this is the coolest thing. He starts making an argument for why he has a problem. He describes the ROEs that they were fighting with in theater in Iraq and Afghanistan. He describes his ROEs by making a comparison. Imagine, if you will, you come home to find that there's a guy in your house. Your wife is there, your children is there. You come home to your home expecting to find your wife and children fine. Instead, you find this guy in your house with a gun who's after shooting and killing them all. But when you come home armed, he drops the gun. And now you're not allowed to shoot him because of the ROEs. The way he described it in the book was so confusing. The NRA didn't want it on screen ever. It would have caused too much confusion to say that perhaps you shouldn't kill the man who just murdered your wife and children, because if he isn't armed, he isn't a threat. See, Kyle was dealing with his violence issues. Sorta. So, incredible. Really the only word for it. Uncredible. Thing to say. Kyle says loads of shitty things in the book. 25. The film implies that he couldn't shoot for shit until he got Taya in the sack. Number 26. Shoots a rattlesnake. Not in the book. Number 27. September 11th, 2001. This event is mentioned in the book. I couldn't say that without laughing a little. Number 28. To think that this event is in the book is no real surprise. September 11th. Says in the book, actually, he didn't sign up until September 11th. It wasn't any earlier terrorist action that caused him to sign up. He signed up directly as a result of September 11th, according to him. Number 28. Proposal for marriage. Kyle supposedly has everything planned except he's like Indiana Jones, making it up as he goes along. Number 29. Tour number 1, Fallujah. The book disagrees. Number 30. Man, they got this one sniper's been hitting headshots. Film ham-fistedly introduces the main villain, who is obviously a crazy fanatic because he doesn't go for center of mass shots like a pro. Number 31. Resume from the beginning. In medias res is a very ancient storytelling technique, but this movie does not deserve any awards for using it. Number 32. Kill number 1. A kid. Not in the book. And the witness is supposed to tell us what to think about it. Number 33. The witness is there not to witness, but to tell us what to think about it. That's the criticism. I think it's a valid criticism, actually, to have the witness supposedly witnessing what the shooter is doing. And yet, number 33, he's talking about what to think about it. Kill number 2, Imam. Is in the, not Imam, Amam, the book, more or less. Again, calling her evil bitch doesn't make it so, but I'm sure everyone in the audience needed to have that pointed out. The movie consistently puts words Kyle would say into other people's mouths. Number 34. Where is everybody? This is the thing I won't ignore about it anymore either. It's the connection between Chris Kyle, an intelligence job, the Navy, the war in Iraq, the department, the whole psyops aspect of it, and Jesse Ventura. He opts out of one thing. He's almost, you could say he was written out of his own story the day that he got killed. And if part of his retirement plan is witness protection because, you know, ISIS sniper is going to be looking for me all over the world, then he's going to need some kind of a cover story, which would include something the NRA would be willing to argue. Number 34. Where is everybody? The comic book is a graphic novel scene and is very punishing indeed. And it's very punishing. Oh man. I wrote this years ago. Number 35. Dude, that was evil like I ain't never seen before, and not how I envisioned the first one would go down. To paraphrase the spotter, Kyle's definition of evil is plastic and subject to much debate. Next 4 items are a composite mess of stories found in the book. 36. Overwatch Einstein, partly in the book. Number 37. Kyle pegs the driver of a car bomb. Number 38. Kyle pegs a man setting an IED. Number 39. Kyle pegs an insurgent with an AK. Number 40. Mustafa gets a kill while Kyle is working. Not in the book. Number 41. Smells like piss in here. Kyle was the one who pissed. It wasn't any Iraqis or insurgents either. Sorry. Funny enough, right? It's this little detail that seems to get skipped over. Why does it smell like piss in here? Would you even talk about it if you knew full well it was your buddy been pissing as he was lying down in Overwatch for all those hours? Would you even mention the smell of piss? I don't know. Number 42. Gonna write up some shooter statements. How many? 6 plus 2 unconfirmed. Kyle inflates his own ego at the same time as he inflates his kill. I wonder how often that actually happens in wartime, where whatever the inflation is, whatever the inflation can possibly be. For example, in the First World War, there were lots of reports of pilots shooting down other aircraft that didn't necessarily result in a killed enemy pilot or a crashed airplane. But they still count, you know. So, but the Second World War, they start counting half kills. Well, my buddy and me both shared the kill, right? And then there's the reported losses versus actual losses. Number 43. He's carrying a Quran. Look, I don't know what a Quran looks like. Psst. Kyle, you genius. It's a fucking book. Shift K right there. Bring it back. Wow. So what I'm doing here is looking for easily removed audio sections so that I can cut this up and compress it all down later. And when I compress it, I'm going to be spreading the video data throughout. Pulling down video clips, sometimes one at a time, sometimes multiple clips, multiple still shots. So the video will be a combination of still images with my voice. And it's going to be, well, around 50 minutes in length, which is why I'm trying to cut as much of it here in this first pass as I can. Number 44. Ball-breaking legend. Up till now, his nickname is supposed to be Tex. Delivered by Biggles, not in the book. Kyle responds by throwing food at him instead of starting a fist fight. In the book, he always starts a fist fight. Number 45. For whatever reason, he'd start a fist fight. Something to do. Number 45. You killed anyone yet? Taya, who is presented as being semi-critical of warfare at the beginning of the movie, secretly taking perverse pleasure in knowing she's married a killer. Number 46. Here we go. Get rid of that part. So when I take out these sections, sometimes I'll be getting my own mouse clicks or keyboard clicks and things. Is what I'm removing. Number 46. View was 300. And as I say, I don't need this video part. Pounds. Oh, that's so romantic. Number 46. View was 300 pounds. Oh, that's so romantic. How's my boy? Psst. Obvious sarcasm was ruled out in rehearsals, and instead they decided to play it as if this was romantic. Obvious sarcasm is obvious. Number 47. Melodrama over little brother Kyle being sent to Iraq with the Marines. Number 48. Headshed briefing on Al-Qaeda Headshed briefing on Al-Qaeda. Headshed briefing on Al-Qaeda 48 was here. Headshed briefing on Al-Qaeda assets and local power structure. Number 1 dude, Zarqawi. Only. So. Headshed briefing on Al-Qaeda assets and local power. Just a little bit of a stumble there, and I'm not recording it again. So. Ain't a terrible one, right? 48 should be about here. Shift K, and I'm going to delete or roll back this much to about here. Let's see if I can't get this out. Number 48. So the next thing I'll be doing when I pop these together is headshed briefing on Al-Qaeda assets and local power structure. So I gain 7-8 seconds back in that one section alone. Number 1 dude, Zarqawi. Only reason to use Zarqawi is because of all the news coverage, not because he was in Fallujah. Number 39. Let's coach up Marines. Because SEALs are actually trainers and personnel coaches when they're not watching porn and playing video games like the book describes. Number 50. Let those dogs sniff out Zarqawi. Mark Lee speaks to Kyle. Dogs refers to regular infantry, and Marines implies SEALs are a higher class or something. Number 51. Mustafa is not an Iraqi, but a Syrian Olympic shooter. No sense in saying he's Iranian when Syria is overrun with ISIS. Number 52. Published, what, the movie came out in 2014? Fuck this. I'm gonna go clear houses. So they entirely made sure that you hated the guy from Syria. You had to hate the guy from Syria. Especially because he was an Olympic athlete. With Marines. You coming? Don't cow it out on Kyle. This scene isn't in the book, but his views on cowardice are. He made George Patton look like Shirley Temple. Number 53. Training up means Vietnam was all about body counts, but then it was about body count numbers which were being faked or massaged. And even though Robert McNamara knew that was going, well, even though he was advising that that should do that, he was still writing documents that ended up in those Pentagon papers. So, incredible, right? Friggin' incredible. Let me lead. How do you spell control issues? Vietnam was all about body count. Was that Westmoreland's big deal? I guess he took it on happy enough, but at least the troops liked him. Number 54. Kyle, for a while. Interrogation sniper. The only interrogator in Iraq that wasn't... Number 54. Kyle, interrogation sniper. The only interrogator in Iraq that didn't use waterboarding. Number 54. Yeah, okay. Snap to there. Number 54. Number 55. Local warlord and mini bad boss guy is ID'd. He come. He drill. Drill. Not in the book. Number 56. Sir, first platoon's planned down. Who is the sir? There. Number 57. Intelligence headshot. Kyle, even if he was a chief, would have still been an NCO. Would they call him sir? No. Kyle turns up an unknown alias. Right. Not in the book. Number 58. Headshed. The term is in the book. Gonna want contractors in and on it. We're hunting dollars. West came across as for the men. Yeah, Westmoreland came across as for the men, not for the civilian command, right? Not in the book. Number 59. Number 59. Okay, I gotta get around that one. Dollars. Not in the book. Number 59. I was in seminary before I joined the Navy. Why? Gambling. Not in the book. Number 60. Hey, babe. Gunfight phone... Hey, babe. Gunfight phone call. Number 60. Number 60. Hey, babe. Yep. All right. Let's shift K there. Number 60 with a little pause. Number 60. Hey, babe. Gunfight phone call is in the book, but not in this place, time, or circumstance. Number 61. Oh, shit. Fictional family is going to get wasted. 62. Number 62. Right. Excellent. Shift K here again. Shift K, by the way, I'm using this different command to cut the thing up. Shift K makes these each into a separate, it considers it as a separate instance. So once the cuts have been made, I can't extend beyond the place where the cut was made. I can get back what I'm removing, but I can't go any further than that. And I got to get to over 200 of these individual cuts before I start moving them together and putting the video data in as well. Gonna hit the sat, be able to hang out more this week. Cool. Right on, Hilljack. I'll be glad to see you. I think I'll probably be spending more time online too. Planning to plug in so I won't be on Wi-Fi either. The signal might be able to get a little bit higher quality for a bit. And you got any requests for songs or stuff you might want to hear? Let me know. It's good to see you. Here's the next one. Oy. Number 62. Ramping up psychology. Butcher. Mustafa. Drill in kid's leg. Bullet stopped by helmet. All fictional. Dog on roof. 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 Number 63. Bad guys escape in a Toyota pickup. Shift K. Yeah, just getting dark at 5:30 sucks. Yeah, it does. I agree. We get it at 4:30 up here, dude. 4 o'clock and it's dark up here. That is the downside. I can't wait for the... Well, certainly solstice yesterday. So, hey, we're going to be out of this in 2 days' time. It'll be getting longer again. Thank fuck. Number 63. Bad guys escape in a Toyota pickup. Number 63. I could hear myself saying Toyota there. Number 63. Bad guys escape in a Toyota pickup. Product placement. Mustafa's on foot. Like he's not only cool, but environmentally conscious. I'm going to take a short break for tea here. Less light affects you. I find the same thing. Number 64. Seals catch. So I can even get my own lip smack out of there. Look at that. Shift S to bring the end back there to where I want it. So let's just double check. But environmentally conscious. Toyota, my employer. Is it really? That's interesting. Oh, boy, I got questions for you now then. Holy shit. Next time I see you, I'll remember that. Like, for example, how did you feel when Trump decided to take your employer on? When it talks about, you know, jobs going overseas and stuff, and Toyota has nothing to do with that. That was the one thing I wondered about actually when he done it. I was like, geez, that's funny. I know, understand picking an American company or whatever else, but if they're operating in America, if they're... Number 64. Seals catch hell. Or is it Marines? No. Shift K. I think I can get away with it here. S sound is the length of the waveform here is the S sound. Marines. Yeah, good. Number 65. Film implies that Kyle spent 3 weeks hitting the gym prior to the end of Tour 1. Definitely not in the book. Number 66. Yeah, I'm gonna say if Chris Kyle was not involved in the fake news in a real deliberate and direct way, I'll eat my hat. I would eat my hat. And the differences between the book and the film. Anyone who might be joining me, my name is James PFP. This is the Banjocast. I'm working on this project which I'd started a number of years ago. I've been waiting for the right moment in time and place. Pick it up and start with it again. Now is that time. I am convinced now is that time. I was actually convinced by Jesse Ventura this week on RT. Convinced me, yeah, there's enough of this crap. I'm going to have to do something. Here's my contribution. I'm using Blender for the video editing work. And I've recorded an audio track of myself speaking, which I'm now removing sections from to be compressed. This would normally be a series of cuts in most people's videos. They would just hard cut things out that they don't want to listen to. I'm not going to be using the video that we see on screen though. I'm only going to be using the audio and adding in other video elements. This is why I'm using Blender. I'm starting to get a little antsy though. I'm going to want to take a break when we get to about 100. Number 66. Oh. Homecoming number 1. Taya is still pregnant because 250 days isn't quite a full gestation period. Number 67. I have an alien growing inside of me. Not in the book. Although, like the book, it compares reality to popular Hollywood blockbuster. Number 68. Number 68. Must be nice to get out. Kyle's pattern of decompression is in the book. He stayed at home for 1 or 2 weeks, avoiding roads, highways, large numbers of people, and loud noises. Number 69. And I'm not kidding there either. The pattern of decompression which he used following his deployments is in the book. Or the things that he did and got up to. But of course, a lot of Number liberties. 69. A lot of liberties being taken. The ultrasound tech and Obgyn. Sorry. Number 69. Let's try it here. Sorry. Number 69. I don't need to say sorry either, do I? Number 69. The ultrasound technician at the obstetricians seems willing to do work on Chris for free, and this years before Obamacare. Bonus points. High blood pressure was mentioned in the book, but only after 4 tours. Number 70. Shift K there. I want to get rid of that little section with the keyboard click. Number 70. You sabotaged me back there. There's 80 here. Not 71. In the book. And be careful, Taya. He's all about payback, is Kyle. Number 71. Kyle lets loose and Taya immediately goes into labor. Uber convenient timing is uber convenient. Uber convenient really means I called the Uber and he was there in a second. And then we had the baby on board the cab. Number 72. I don't think there's a single shot in this movie where a newborn actually looks real instead of being an obvious doll. No babbies were harmed in the making of this film, and the brain damage the audience receives may not be permanent. Funny because it's true. Oh, Control Z. Number 73. Kyle watches Mustafa's snuff films. While the book does mention the existence of such films, it only ever admits to Kyle viewing pirated DVDs he bought while in Iraq. Not just pirate DVDs he got while in Iraq. No, no, no. Pirated DVDs he bought while in Iraq. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's one for the pirates in the house. Number 74. Was that him that day? I'm sorry. Was that him that day? Gotta do a cut there. And bring it back to about there, I think. Number 74. And then the cut in from, was that him that day? Not in the book. This is the film's way of attempting to establish what drove Kyle to go back for 3 more tours. Number 75. Wow, I'm gonna have to break before I get to 100. Didn't have to do it last night. I sat down here and I worked like a trooper until it was all done without stopping. Number 75. They're savages. Hey, they're fucking savages. That is in the book. Number 76. Tour number 2. Now Kyle is amazingly a chief, i.e. the highest rank he can be as an enlisted man. Not chronologically accurate. Number 77. Legend, huh? Little brother Kyle has no faith and just tired, man. Going home. Fuck this place. I.e. Iraq. This is in the book, but it's Chris Kyle who says it, not his little brother. Number 78. New brass. Insurgency is now the issue. Number 79. Is that you? Crusader Cross. Yes, sir. The bounty posters, according to the book, never identified Kyle except by his tattoo. And the book notes that Kyle didn't get that tattoo until after tour number 2. And it also establishes so I'm getting precise now as I'm using clicking the green line where I want it and then snapping the whatever end is closest to where it needs to be. And it also establishes that Kyle wanted to be in a crusade because he's a Christian. I guess that made him a bit of an extremist in his way. So here we go, Shift K to get the cut, and then zooming in to make sure that I'm not going to cut off any audio I want. Snapping that end, and only that end. Number 8. Snapping is done with Shift S. T. Let's put fear of God in these savages. The DA squad to hunt down the butcher is not in the book, and that's how to win hearts and minds in the audience. A soldier is like a child. He only says words like savage if and when he overhears an officer adult saying them. Number 80. Kyle knew PowerPoint. Product placement. But the audience has no more idea of where the hell the people in this segment... but the audience has... Yeah, so it's this part here. I can cut there, and then I can snap back almost all the way to there, right? Product placement. But the audience has no more idea of where the hell the people in this sequence actually are than the people in the sequence do. According to the book, Kyle didn't train to be a sniper until tour number 1 ended and was deployed to Baghdad, Sadr City, and Fallujah during tour number 2. Number 82. You gotta go. This scene is not in the book and is trying to establish Lee's morale as already being lower than low. Already being lower than low. I see I could do a better job than that with the Werner Herzog too. Sorry, the Werner Herzog would be excellent there. Number 83. I won't believe in what we're doing. There's Eva here. We've seen it. Have we? I know the script is mighty bad, but calling it evil without burning it or refusing it seems melodramatic. Number 84. The DA operation. Not in the book, or at least not this circumstance, but it is described as routine. Most of the scenes in this sequence use obvious trickery to get emotional reaction, like the same canned baby crying that we heard in the hospital. Because all canned babies are equal. Canned baby. Because all canned babies are equal. I might actually want the video for that part. I break character for just a second. These are equal. Not that it's much of a character, but I do break character. Canned baby. Number 85. A series of shots with Kyle showing bared arms but no Crusader tattoo. And the other soldiers have to let it slip that he's the legend. Doc dropping on purpose is bait. It's funny because it's true, but yeah, the movie sets it up that the other soldiers doc drop who he is in the middle of a doc dropping situation. On purpose is bait for trolling. Number 86. Biggles doc drops Kyle, which is movie rationale for wounding Biggles later. Number 87. Soldiers at Chow. Kyle spots the security hole, the host's elbow. Not in the book. Number 88. Kyle makes an excuse to excuse himself from a meal in progress. I have to wash my hands. The secret of good comedy is not only timing, but also good personal hygiene. The idea being that here he is sitting at a meal in Iraq at some person's table, and he didn't wash his hands before he started. Number 89. The floor has a hidden compartment that the soldiers didn't find immediately upon invading the house under mats and rugs. Not in the book. Number 90. A close-up on Major League's arm... a close-up. That worked out well because I wanted to take out the clicking sound there. Shift K. Now I'm going to move this to here by left clicking once. Right click on the handle on the end. We'll now show you here by Shift S what happens. So nothing moves in space right now. The video above and the audio, or the video below and the audio above will work. But I don't really need the video, I only want the audio. As long as it's synchronized though, I'll use it. A close-up on Major League Arms Cache, not in the book. The book does describe in detail every weapon Kyle used in Iraq, as well as his brand name body armor and other assorted protective gear. Number 91.
Oh, so close.
Bring the terp in. It's a terp? The book does use slang for interpreter, but Kyle doesn't need a terp until tour number 3 or 4. Number 92. Package is moving, and it won't be protected afterwards. If the package picks up a weapon, he's perfectly acceptable as a target. The ROEs say so. Number 93. Yeah, there's a joke in the way that these two go together, which is why I want to get rid of the sound of the keyboard. Number 93. Execute. Package picks up a gun and is shot. Number 94. A room with a hanging body and assorted body parts. This is in the book, but not during tour number 2. Number 95. Oh, wow. Number 95. Oh, shit. Found a tunnel. Is in the book, where they are labeling... This is in the book. This is in the book. This is in the book. Shift K, and this should say, is in the book. Right. I could even go back all the way here. Found a tunnel. This is in the book, where they are labeled rat tunnels. Rat is only marginally less offensive than savages. Only. 96. Sorry. Number 96. I actually got a real good idea on the fly here, which is I say the number up until the first 100, and then afterward I say 100 and rather than number 96. After a 90-second firefight, Kyle runs down the street where he gets the butcher. Not in the book, and neither was the butcher. Butcher didn't exist, in other words. It was entirely created from scratch in order to give a bad guy for the first half of the movie. Butcher isn't in the book at all. Number 97. Mustafa's cell phone spot a network. In the book. Kyle admits that... In the book, Kyle claims that the insurgent cell Mustafa's cell phone spotter network. In the book, Kyle claims that the insurgent cell phone network had been compromised by the electronic intelligence apparatus. And I'm going to take my break right now. So if you're watching, my name's James PFP. The Banjocast is not going anywhere. I'm going to be going on a very short break. Won't be very long. Going to mute my mic here now and some music in the background while this is waiting. But yeah, we're doing some work on a project based around American Sniper. If you want to leave a message in the chat to me, go right ahead. I'll chat to you there. We are in chat tonight. And I'm going to open up the music and let it play.
I think it was a little tune by Cream, released back in '69. I think it's some original material now. Over the past couple of years, I've released a few albums. You know, a little bit of music from each one. And a bit of new material tonight too as well, some stuff people never heard before. First start off with one of my favorites. A little tune by, well, it's an original actually. It's a song called Working Blues, a song I wrote a few years back. Money working 9 to 5. I do what I can so I can stay alive. But I got my baby, she's just 4 years old. Gotta try and keep her out of the rain and the cold. Well, you see those women who just walk those streets. They're looking for a dime bag and some food to eat. But I've been working here since I was 9. Well, I keep working till the day I die. Since my mama she died, just yesterday since my daddy he lied. All my brothers and my sisters too, yeah. But I don't want no sympathy from you. Well, just last night I drank my last bottle of gin, and I don't know that you can forgive my sins. The devil's smarter and hell is getting hotter, and I don't know that you can walk on water, yeah. Walking around town, well, that is where our high class business is done. Now go on home, boy, you better run, run, run. Well, I made my money and I worked my fingers to the bone. Now saved all my dollars so I could have a home. Well, I've been working here since I was 9, yeah. And I keep working till the day I die. Chicago Urban Blues. Thank you guys. God damn. We're gonna try another original now. A little song called Blame.
Waiting for my tea. I got tea on the brew. Not brewing. It's warming up. This would be good background music. Beginning of a podcast. Yeah. Thanks, Chris. That's Chris Osmond's Blue Mood, ladies and gentlemen. Name of the band. A bunch of local boys from here on the island. They're not in town at the moment. They're playing outside of town, I believe. So it's safe to say there's no other competition in town for that particular track tonight. What is it? For Fours Day, it's getting on late, eh? What's the time say? I can't read it from here. What's the time say? Yeah. Getting on. I'm really just waiting for a second or two while there we go. That's what I'm waiting for. Oh, I got a task to do too before I get back at it. See if I can do this without hurting myself or ruination in my body. Can you see me on the camera there? Can you see me? See if I can see myself. Just barely here. Yeah, okay. Got a can of milk here, which I'm going to open using a knife. Oh, that's the first side. Rotate 180 degrees. Oh, that's the tricky one. Wants to flap a little and a little. A little bit of milk on the end of the blade, no biggie. Can condensed milk, check. Evaporated even. I'm a real consumer of evaporated milk. Do not use I don't use I consume so little milk, it's pointless for me to buy a 2-liter or something. Fresh milk, homogenized, 2%, no, I'm out of that market. No more for me, thank you very much. Ooh, that's some good. Some shocking good, love. Could use something to snack on while need to get some snacks. Just a light snacking. I had lunch too, didn't I? Yeah, I did. So before I get back into the grind here, I'll explain what it is that you might be looking at on the screen. I'm working with a program here called Blender. Blender is open source alternative, which has been developed for a large number of years, and since being developed it's earned something of a reputation as being sometimes difficult to work with and sometimes not. I find whenever I've heard it described, well, it's very rarely been how to put it. It's very rarely been quite a generous explanation or showing of it. Except for here on YouTube, there's a couple of people that operate channels that are awesome. Talking about Blender and what to do with it, how to do it. Mostly they're focused though on the 3D aspects, 3D design, modeling, animation, and the like. I'm more interested in the fact that it does everything else in the production pipeline. Video editing, compositing, and specific things to correct problems with video footage. For example, you can do motion stabilization, jitter correction, and the like. Or you can correct frame rates, or you can do whatever. And as such, I find it very useful for that purpose. Gee, I should probably consider doing one in 15 frames a second instead. The final project, I mean. My snack is a little orange. Good. Orange plus cream, a little bit of chocolate for after. This is excellent for cleansing the palate, I think. Oh. The time of year when I've got to be fighting off scurvy the hardest. Hey, where was I? Electronic intelligence apparatus. Number 98. Number 98. I made so many mistakes early on that I didn't mind repeating myself when I had to. Number 98. Armed crowd and SEALs pulling out. The Punisher logo is prominently displayed on the Humvee's gun mount. Out of order, according to the book. Also, product placement, since Kyle reused the Punisher logo on his own merchandise. Number 99. Homecoming number 2. Kid number 1 is now 3 or 4 years old and only after one tour overseas, 250 days. Same kid uses 4-syllable words precociously. Number 100. Are you Kyle? Are you Kyle? Because his reputation preceded him. Number 100. Are you Kyle? Wounded vet guilt trips Kyle into visiting the vet hospital in San Diego. Because it's not like Kyle should have had at least some counseling. 101. They made it back, but they're just not back. You know? No. 102. Hey, buddy. Generic patronizing rhetorical device is patronizing. and the next line of script is definitely not needed. Can I talk to you? 103. Kyle refuses to salute a vet, and it's a wonder another vet shot him, right? 104. Grab your lizard there. What? Oh, right, the toy. 105. Your sister. Not only is the kid 2 or 4 times too old, but Kyle now has a newborn daughter. 106. The only shots of actual newborns in the film. In a hospital creche with 2 nurses and behind reinforced bulletproof glass, no less. 107. Breastfeeding doll with arms and fingers that really move. 108. If the previous shot wasn't a doll, it definitely is now. 109. You can only circle the flame so long. Oh, sorry. You can only circle the flame so long. Taya. For consistency only, I used falsetto for the female voices. 109. You can only circle the flame so long. Not in the book. 110. Tour number 3. Not geo-identified. Biggles and Lee are killed within 24 hours of one another. Book says it was in Ramadi, and indeed, that is where Job Lee were wounded and killed. 111. Mustafa has peepers. Right on, sugar. This one can go. This click. Gonna get rid of that one. So each of these cuts is not one at a time. Sometimes it's 111. 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Mustafa has peepers because he's Kaiser fucking Soze, bro. Yet more reality being compared to much better, more popular movies. Just like the book, using movies to describe reality, I mean. And it is overdubbed. The line is Kaiser fucking Soze, bro. You don't see anyone actually say it. It was added in post. Is my guess. It needed more something, so that was what was added. 112. Mustafa has a child and a picture of his Olympic medal ceremony on the wall. Wanna bet Mustafa's kid won't grow up as fast as Kyle's son did? 113. Team gets ambushed prior to being ambushed because excitement. 114. Punisher logo on body armor. Product placement. 115. Biggles did get it by a ricochet off of his own gun. It's in the book. But Mustafa did not fire the shot. 116. Biggles had the ring? Sauron, you evil fucker. Not in the book. 117. Only one sniper could have made that shot. Not in the book. But at least he didn't say Sand People, Imperial Stormtroopers, or Darth Vader. Or Darth Vader. 118. Lex Talionis, i.e. an eye for an eye. And Lee is the next to die, so let's have him say something Latin to make it poignant. 119. We're going back out. Not exactly in the book, especially since he's not a chief at this point. 120. On the way to the ambush, they get ambushed. In case you are gone out for popcorn or a piss the first time, or perhaps crack, you can now enjoy the same getting ambushed on the way to the ambushed action that you missed the first time. 121. Boom. Headshot. 122. A tension sequence with a jump scare ending. 123. Mark Lee gets... There's a cut there. Ding. One. Tension sequence with jump scare ending. Yeah, that's Oscar material. 123. Mark Lee gets his, and this is pretty much in the book. In my opinion, if a studio puts an actual death sequence on film of an actual person who lived and died that way, then they should also put an in memory of on the fucking film somewheres. Are Mark Lee's family getting royalties? 124. Kyle did return to attend a double funeral, but the book relates that another SEAL had died before Biggles or Lee, and anyway, Biggles was still alive at this point. AKA Job. 125. Wow, this is going way faster, this second part. Lee's mother reading a letter purportedly sent by Lee. Rather than actually read it through, she chokes up. Thanks, Clint. 126. Melodramatic reactions to rifle fire. Count the number of people who jump ahead of the gun. Times 2 if it happens more than once. 127. Wow. Getting up there. 127. Aggressive driving at home when you don't get ambushed on the way to the ambush. Normally. And never after a funeral, like in Grand Theft Auto. Mitsubishi product placement. Too true. Mitsubishi is the vehicle which is trailing behind him on the highway as he's driving. 128. Taya explicitly asked for Kyle's opinion of Lee's letter. That is in the book. But the film's answer is different than Kyle's answer in the book. Kyle's opinion of Mark Lee's letter to his mother, 100, is in the book. So for the movie to avoid it when it's in writing, when it's actually on the record, seems to me to be cowardly. Cowardly. 129. Visiting Biggles. Not chronologically consistent, i.e. too early. Too soon. 130. Sauron took back the ring from him after he'd finished eating all of Biggles' pie. The new ring doesn't have any blood on it. ... A joke in the movie. Blood Diamond. 131. True. Hey, John. It's going well. I'm getting through my back end now. I've gone from... I put it in the... When I started streaming today, I put it in the... Not in the title, but in the attached note, which goes out on the Google stream. In the note it said, I got all the solve done last night. The coagula happens now. So that's what I'm doing. I've got all the pieces. I'm picking apart the little pieces that I need from it, and I'll be putting in the video aspects next. So, how are you doing, John? 131. True. Biggles' fiance did agree to the marriage, but no royalties for her or his family either. 132. Deadliest snapper in U.S. military history. Scuttlebutt will be the death of Kyle. 133. Sadder City is explicitly named, which is... Yeah, I think it should be alright. And as of right now, when I was doing the audio recording for this, I discovered that it took about 50 minutes to read the entire list, where it's 200 items. So what I'm doing right now is trying to remove all the gaps in the audio I possibly can to make it faster, to get it to play through quicker. Because I don't want to waste any viewers' time on things that don't matter. But this is a shot by shot. It's practically shot by shot. And the particular little things are the number of little things is greater than the number of kills that Chris Kyle had. That's the other thing. According to the book, Sadr City is explicitly named, which is, according to the book, near Fallujah, but avoids the time Kyle spent in 2 other cities first. 134. Payback in the book happened immediately afterwards and even has a section subtitle. But there was no hoo-yah legend, and they didn't get anyone specifically. They went out looking for anyone to shoot. In the book, that's the way it's described. When they went looking for payback, they didn't go looking for people in particular. They went out looking for anything at all that the ROEs would allow them to shoot to get payback. They didn't care who it was. 135. Kyle did have a depressed or fatalistic side. The movie drops the Kyle has a plan pretense at this point, because nobody with a brain bought it the first place. 136. And I agree. I don't think anyone bought it with a brain the first time around. Anyone who had a brain didn't buy the way the movie was selling it. 136. The serve my country rationale is bogus. When he explains it in the book, he posits his wife and kids are the victims of a murderer who then drops the gun he used to kill them, so he's not allowed to shoot the murderer. The NRA did not want this in the movie. The last thing the NRA would want would be some kind of a rationale for why it is that you should not use your gun in self-defense if, for whatever reason. I need you here. Is also in the book. The implied threat of separation is also in the. Oh, hang on a second then. Yeah, I got to undo this change that I just made. I need you. Okay, yeah, okay. I can get rid of that. Yeah, see? Yeah. I need you here. I gotta be honest, I like doing impressions. I've always liked impressions. I like taking on voices. But one of the voices I've been working on for a long time is Humphrey Bogart. And this whole, yeah, see? That's half Bogart and half, what's his name? Cagney, Jimmy Cagney. Half and half.
All the gin joints
is also in the book. The implied threat of separation is also in the book. Separation, in fact, is also in the book. The fact that the two of them, Taya and Chris, did actually separate is what I mean to say. The movie got around that. They didn't show them being separated except when he went overseas. 138. He hugs the threat away now, but he doesn't want to go home when the next tour ends. She is right. Reasons why it wasn't winning any Oscars. 139. Tour number 4. Sadr City. The book agrees. 140. Biggles is dead. Delivered way too early. Just like Kyle's promotion to chief. Sora! 141. The RPG wielding man and a kid who responds to Kyle's wishes and prayers. Not in the book. The kid has a gun in the book, and Kyle states that he would not shoot an armed child. Kyle explicitly states in the book he would not shoot. You're distantly related to James Cagney? Holy shit. That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. I mean, we can, that's like the whole 7 degrees to Kevin Bacon anyway, but that's not even about relations. It's not even necessarily about bloodline. Wow. Did that turn into a lot of fun times at the family gatherings or what? Like the family reunions? Who can do the best Cagney takeoff? I think he's my grandpa's second cousin. Wow. Real, yeah, distant enough. Would not shoot an armed child. He explains he'd rather wait for the evil man who... He says in his book he would not shoot an armed child. Was the first kill he gets in the movie is an armed child. And who told the kid to pick up the gun. Now how in the hell he'd know who that is, you be the judge. 142. Memorable Iraqi kid. Product placement. Available in any fine Hollywood talent agency. Oh, I got a lot of fun out of this one. I really did. It's strange to see how nervous they were around children in this movie. 143. What? Particularly infants. Is this like blue balls or something? 144. The T-wall operation. This is in the book. Doesn't involve trapping anyone, but rather than prevent T-wall operation. Okay, I'm looking for right about there. Shift K to cut it. Hard cut it. The T-wall operation. I thought as much. And now I need to take this end and snap it to here, and then I'll move the two of them back again together later. This is in the book. It doesn't involve trapping anyone, but rather to prevent RPG attack. Recognize this argument? Or did you forget about the bloody big wall between Israel and Palestine already? 145. Mustafa was not killed by Kyle. Kyle said so in the book. And not killed in Sadr City either. 146. He can be whoever the fuck you need him to be. Lamp shading. Also, isn't this true of any grunt in the army? Never mind. 147. The armored vehicles army were as depicted, and the book includes that Kyle had connections with this unit who operated them. Why ruin a perfectly horrible film with the truth? Oh, the danger, Will Robinson. Yeah, at the very beginning, if you listen to me at the beginning, I was intentionally aiming for something other than that. Yes. Yes, John. The voice reminds me of that old show with the robot, Danger, Will Robinson. Yeah, Robbie the robot was his name. Robbie. Do you also remember Buck Rogers? Beady, 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 Buck. He had his own little robot too. I'm going to put a little mark here so I don't forget where I am. I'm going to go back to the beginning so that you can listen to the way my voice is at the beginning. And there's a big difference between the beginning and the end. A numbered list of reasons why America... It sounds more European at the beginning of the film, and as time goes on, it becomes more and more generically North American. A numbered list of reasons why American Sniper didn't deserve any Oscars. Dateline February 23rd. I should try to think about Kraut and Timor, maybe. 2015 at 3:33 p.m. I've been sitting on this list for over a month, waiting to read the list of Oscar winners this morning. And then I started seeing posts about how, by Herner Herzog, how this film was robbed. So please, how this film was robbed. To my dear friends and anyone else who cares to listen or read, here's a labor of love that took hours to type out and edit, unlike the fucking travesty that is the screenplay. I was aiming for more of that the whole way through, but it was impossible for me to hold it together. I would have had to rehearse every line more than once, and that's not happening. This is not worth that kind of effort. So I think if you buy it at the beginning, you might forget by the time it gets to the end, because it's going to be half an hour at least. And the book includes that Kyle had connections with this unit who operated them. Why ruin a perfectly horrible film with the truth? 148. Predator drone product placement mentioned in the book. So arguably it is... I missed a spot where I need to edit out here. 47. The armored vehicles army were as depicted, and the book includes that Kyle had connections with this unit who operated them. Why ruin a perfectly... Why ruin? While ruin. While ruin. Why ruin? Why ruin a... So Shift K, and then I select that with a right click, hit G to just casually get rid of it. And I'll move them back together, and there goes that. Why ruin a perfectly horrible film with the truth? 140. Yeah, it's Werner Herzog impression. Werner Wirtz. Werner Herzog. Werner Herzog. Hello, my name is Werner Herzog. I'd like to ask you to join me on this lovely travel through the Middle East. Predator 148. Predator drone product placement mentioned in the book. So arguably it is paying lots of close attention to little details now as a pretext for stunning visual effects. Not even nominated. Wasn't even nominated for visual effects, true. During a fictitious encounter. So none of it was true, and everything was even faked in the stuff that wasn't true. Well, it had to be, I guess. 149. The streets are crawling. Hold your fire. Is more or less in the book, except the book mentions how most of the U.S. sniper weapons are suppressed, thus quieter. So that dude who says, hold fire, is the judge for the shooting competition, or something. The dude who says, hold your fire, yeah, he's only because he's judging the shooting competition. They're not actually under attack or anything, they're just having a little... 150! It never, but never pays to pick red shirt when you enlist. Kyle picks this fictitious nonentity in the book. Sorry, Kyle picked this fictitious nonentity. Hey. Right there. And it can go back to about there, I think. Kyle picked this fictitious nonentity in the book when he described how some brave private has to climb the ladder. Some brave private. 151. Jock-faced newbie is obviously an idiot. Jock-faced newbie got a lot of screenshots coming in this part. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. 152. 1900. Wasn't winning any Oscars for supporting role. 100 yards in the book during this tour, but not during this fictionalized engagement. 153. Correction. 2,100 yards. Definitely in the book. The distance he claimed for the longest kill shot. Again, didn't happen during this engagement. 154. Surprise reversal in opinions, and he's definitely going to shoot someone. You know, because there was any doubt that he was going to shoot somebody in the end of the movie? No. 155. Aim small, miss small. Not in the book, but I suspect this is more product placement because Kyle ran a private sniper school and therefore it made sense to put his words in the mouth of his teachers before he steals them and sells them as his own. The book has got all kinds of interesting stuff in it. The things that Kyle admits to doing while in theater includes buying pirated DVDs in the marketplaces, which it's not the same as downloading them. When you actually physically purchase a copy. So he admits to buying all these pirated DVDs, and Warner Brothers doesn't think to mention that. I found that funny. The, whatchamacallits are also mentioned, the snuff films. 156. Add artificial tension, guilt, and recrimination to taste, and pepper liberally with insurance. Oh, I messed that one up. Look at that. Insurance. Add insurance. My own disgust is awesome. Add art. right there are probably back to about here, maybe. Add artificial tension, guilt, and recrimination to taste, and pepper liberally with insurgents. Insurance is what I said. Remember to keep a running tally of everyone you kill. In the book, Kyle claims they always kept a running tally, even in firefights. Here we go. 157. No joke on the last one. Kyle claims in the book that they always kept a running tally no matter what the situation. 157. Now we're fucked like a football bat. Equals an Oscar nod for the best supporting wise ass. 150. Best supporting wise ass? No. Not in the Oscars yet. Another 5-6 years? Maybe. Maybe. 158. Get some, motherfuckers. Oh, no, you didn't. Full Metal Jacket ripoff, anybody? 159. Dumb noobs. Never Russ or Lowell. Dumb noobs. Dumb noobs. I beg that anyone who's watching the stream here would listen carefully to this advice. Dumb noobs. Never rush a lower level with heavily armed spec ops above you. Some idiot in the group probably had the bomb. Fucking noobs. Fucking noobs. Fucking noobs. 100 and... It's been that long since I played Counter-Strike. It's not even funny. But it's still funny. 160. Sandstorm from nowhere, because that's what drama is all about, especially in Sadr City on the day that Kyle killed Mustafa. 161. All of it faked. Don't stop fucking shooting, man. Ad-libbed by the actor on the spot. He claimed Eastwood inspired him with his direction. And a loaded Colt 45. 162. And the Oscar for the most heads-up tactical genius in military history who knows by Wi-Fi that the fastest 20 minutes out rescue convoy is now only 3 blocks away, 2 minutes later goes to 163. They call for an airdrop in a sandstorm because visual effects budget, and fuck it. The book isn't enough like Black Hawk Down. Or The Mummy. Or The Mummy. Oh, baby. Reasons why American Sniper was not winning any Oscars. 164. Jockface has been in the shit too long. You can hear it in his voice, in the way he says "niner," and his jerk back to camera is hardly wasted. And his jerk back to camera is hardly wasted. 1,000-yard stare is next. Then he's going to find a bottle of wild turkey and get plastered. 165. So Kyle calls Taya because fuck it. Consistency. 166. Oh, he thinks she's dead. What a tool. 167. Fire away. Multi-million-dollar smart met weapon misses. Multi-million-dollar smart weapon. Fire away. Cool. So it's there. I can get rid of that much audio because I had to do double take. Multi-million-dollar smart weapon misses. 168. Green side cleared for exit. 20 minutes out in 5 minutes flat. 169. And the Oscar for the luckiest frag grenade in Iraq goes to 171. Not the circumstance in which Kyle took a round in the back. 171. In the book, he left the rifle on the roof, not in the street. And in the book, he claimed he made an evac wait for him to go back and get the gun. Sure you did. 172. Not in the book. Expected it. 173. Genuine surprise. Nothing says genuine in the book, like the book, or in the film. Am I right? 174. The book explains that the book explains that as the fourth tour. Yeah, I gotta get back in the character. The book explains. I could have thought. I guess it's kind of like an RKO radio announcer too. 174. The Martians are invading in Grover's Mills. Grover's Mills. The book explains that as the fourth tour ended, Kyle was promoted to chief, but it did not last. The book explains that. The book explains that as the fourth tour ended, Kyle was promoted to chief, but did not last long in the position. Not too many chiefs, and the book makes other jokes like that. 175. Big boy and little girl. Too many chiefs, not enough Indians, right? Neither is 500 or 1,000 days old, respectively, according to the book's chronology. 176. Oh. Trying to cut as many places as I can, but it doesn't really need to be terrible. 176. Oh, he's not playing a video game. A joke in the book, how good Kyle got at Tiger Woods golf. And he looted his copy, perhaps. That's true too. He admits to looting a copy of Tiger Woods golf in Iraq. Not getting it at the market, a pirate copy. No, looting it from civilians. And he looted his copy, perhaps. 177. They're here. 178. Because the abyss Nietzsche meant is well represented by the 4x3 rectangle of a brand LCD screen turned off. Product placement. Trying to get rid of all the audio I can. Not that it's going to be terrible much, and after every number I pretty much have a big gap. 179. Lazy screenwriters should be taken out behind the hovels wherein they reside. This is a funny one. I wish I could have done this in the Werner. Lazy screenwriters should be taken out behind the hovels wherein they reside, the filthy, broken down flophouse hovels that they are, and summarily beaten. Lazy scriptwriters should be taken out. I think the cut is there. I think I can take that one all the way back to about here, yeah? Lazy scriptwriters should be taken out behind the hovels wherein they reside, the filthy, broken down flophouse hovels that they are, and summarily beaten to death with a Nerf bat for writing, "Look at you," in a screenplay. Truth be told, you hear that on almost everything nowadays. It's in every screenplay. Everything has at least one of those lines. Look at you. 180. The doctor said, I actually started noticing it at around about the same time as I wrote that down, but I had noticed it a couple years ahead of time. Mad Men started doing it. I remember the day I saw Don Draper talking to the white-haired guy, Roger. And the two of them were talking, and one of them looked at the other and said, "Look at you," because he was juggling. I'm like, yeah, look at 180. The doctor says what is even more insane is that he's only. The doctor says that what is even more insane. Yeah, Werner would have been better up here. Maybe I want to do this again. I don't know. The doctor says what is even more insane is that he's only chronologically 5 years old, 6 foot 4 inches or not. 181. Yeah, the daughter is losing teeth she only got last week. Afraid she's swallowing it is the last of her troubles so long as the audience keeps swallowing this film. 182. Philosophy malfunction. Is Kyle still a sheepdog if he stops the sheepdog by beating it to death, or is it safe to assert that he is now a wolf? and has been one all along. 183. He removes belt, not in the book, but thanks, Paul, for fucking my sense of moral turpitude. 184. Awkward, Kyle. The book makes it very clear. Kyle only hits people with his fists. Since he's not shooting, when he's not shooting them, that is, when he's not shooting them. Aha, a little cut there. The book makes clear people with his fists, when he's not shooting them, that is. The book describes many instances of Kyle getting into brawls, particularly between the 3rd and 4th deployments. Kyle even admits he has a violence problem in the book. 185. Kyle did see medical and scientific folk for long-term mental issues, but the doctor in this scene is meant for us, not for Kyle. 186. Have you ever done or seen things you wish you hadn't? Dr. Phil, ladies and gentlemen, yeah. Wish I hadn't written that I belted Jesse Ventura without getting a proper handshake agreement with him ahead of time. Oh yeah, wish I had clean shoot those looters in Katrina neither. Wish I hadn't clean shoot them looters in Katrina neither. Yeah, it's probably true, that one. I'm going to err on the side of caution. Or comedy, whichever comes first. 187. The thing that haunts me. Oh, glad you mentioned that, Kyle. Now we can heal you immediately by reminding you all about the other vets. That is, in the book, at least. Kyle says that his involvement with other vets was more useful to him for his healing process than any other thing. At least. So it explains at least, I think, why the 188. Kyle is exploited. Lol. Because he makes group therapy sessions fun. 189. Automatically, gung-ho Kyle gets into a vet retreat. Sorry. Automatically. Boy, I gotta figure out whether this is gonna work. Kyle is exploited. Lol. Because he makes group therapy sessions fun. 189. Automatically, gung-ho Kyle gets into a vet retreat. Sorry. Automatically, gung-ho Kyle gets into vet retreat. Automatically, gung-ho Kyle gets into vet retreat so that they can do good work for the... Automatically, gung-ho... Automatically gung-ho. I think this is just difficult to get out, but once you get it out, it's like, yeah, I'm glad I got that out. Only need to say it once. See, you only need to say it once. Gung-ho Kyle get. I think that snaps to about there. 189. Automatically, gung-ho Kyle gets into his shit. 189. Oh, wow. I even get the number twice. Woo. Bring that back about there then. Get rid of that one. 2 takes of 189. 189. Automatically, gung-ho Kyle gets into vet retreats so that they can do good work for the NRA. Everyone is happy, especially the guy who's been getting testosterone injections. 190. Started a rush at the end. Calling numbers ahead of time and the like. 190. Proud sponsor of this film, American Eagle Ammo. Product placement, poor taste or otherwise. 191. Damn, I miss my balls. 192. Who's the legend now? The answer is actually the dude down in Uruguay who shot 16 armed communist guerrillas with his M4 at over 1,400 yards, blindfolded. 193. Trust me, is bad screenplay humor for foreshadowing that is cast upon a lampshade. 191. Sorry. 194. 194 right there, yeah? Snap. 194. Obligatory, I saved a relationship with my son sequence number 1. 195. And my daughter sequence number 2. 196. Kyle describes himself as a prankster in the book, but we need padding. So this also clearly establishes she loves him. 197. Kyle lectures more than his own dad, who was a deacon. Oh, and son bonding, because son's at least twice as important as the daughter, right? 198. Got it, Bubba? Because indoctrinating kids is cool. 199. February 2nd, 2013. The second date to be explicitly identified on screen. And the events of this day are definitely not in the book. Who pays money to be able to protect specific dates in infamy? All right. Lobby groups. 2. $200. Great big old family bonding joke with a loaded pistol on the day Dad died by a gunshot. 201. Oh, baby, is a minor felony among scriptwriters. Let that one sink in. Oh, baby is a minor felony among scriptwriters. But saying, look at you twice, see 179. 202. Moment of editor. Moment of editor. 202. Moment of editorial. Moment of editorialization brought to you by the book. 203. Kyle describes the man who killed him. Movie adds much detail in a long expository Kyle explanation. 204. Daddy likes video games too, but not when he's in the movie. And besides, I've never seen you before, kid. Who the fuck are you, Bubba? 205. Poke the bear! Yeah, let's make sure everyone teaches their kids about bear baiting, just like in the good old days. Then, when they're bad, you can use bears to scare the bejesus out of them, like in the Bible. Or just use the threat of Santa, like in Kyle's book. Dun, 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 dun. Strange, right? $206. Chris Kyle was killed that day by a veteran he was trying to help. NRA language, but obviously they don't need to put a logo on there anywhere. A lobby doesn't use product placement. The reason I say that they don't need to put a logo on there anywhere is because one of the larger lobby groups, which seems to be, well, it's a shareholder in Warner Brothers, is at the NRA. Which explains almost everything about the book, the novel, or the film. That would be the total. That'd be it. Yep. Yeah. So what I don't need to see right now is this thing. I'm going to join these two windows together by right-clicking and going Join Area and bringing the arrow over on this side to get rid of it. That way I can get a little sidebar here for working with the files directly. So now I got a double job to do. First thing is decide, do I need any of the video information which is linked directly to these? I don't think I actually do. I don't think there's anywhere. So maybe I'll just hide this for now. Here, this is actually a good idea. I'm going to put down a series of marks on the video sequence editor here. We'll see them also reflected up here on this window. So the first one's F83863. I'm going to go page down while hovering on this window, and it should bring me to the next, page up, page down brings me to the next cut. So if I hit M again, I can get both sides of the cut. And have a mark laid down to where the file used to be, or where the sequence used to be. And if I want the video that way, I'll get it that way. So I'm hitting page up, going to the next one, hitting M, hitting page up, going to the next one, hitting M. If I hit page down there, I can see I already got one. Back and forth. Yeah, heck, I remember doing this on my Nintendo years ago. BA, select start. And I need to get through the entirety of this quickly. Like, this doesn't need any thinking. I'm only marking the spots where the cuts occur. So here's the rest of them for the rest of the film, or the rest of this sequence. Some of them are pretty small, some of them are pretty short. That's the last one. That gets all of them. So the marks are made. These have absolutely no impact on the playback. They're merely placeholders. They clutter up the timeline up here because they're all automatically named by a frame number. But for the purposes of what I'm going to do next, this I think will work excellent. So what I'm going to do is now shift snap this one to the beginning. I don't need the video. And shift snap this one over here and see if the two play well together. American Sniper didn't deserve any Oscars. Dateline February 23rd, 2015 at 3:33 p.m. for Tuesday. I've been sitting on this list for over a month, waiting to read the list of Oscar winners this morning, and then I started seeing posts about how this film was robbed. So please, to my dear friends and anyone else who cares to listen or read, here's a labor of love that took hours to type out and edit, unlike the fucking travesty that is the screenplay. By the way, when I did up the list, I was most impressed that I apparently shot up the script more times than Kyle had kills in Iraq. The opening titles use a Muslim calling the faithful to prayer with Allahu Akbar in order to create false tension. Gee, hasn't Eastwood come a long way as a director? Roll eyes. So there's where that ends. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Give it a 2-second pause before the numbers start. And now I'm ready for the first piece of video to be added. So I'm going to add it in. And it's going to be on track 4. And the first one is right here. And I want number 1 to be as long as this clip. I also need this to be the size of the project. So, or the project do this size. It's 536. Oh, right. Never mind. Image offset would work. Now I need to bring it up in the image a little. It's 536, was it? 536. So okay, yeah, it is. So how much do I offset it? It would be 720 minus 536, and whatever that number is divided by 2 for midway in the image. It happens to be 92. I have a choice here though. Because I know I'm going to want this image to drag out over the length of this spoken sequence, I'm going to snap it to the end of the sequence like this. Number 1. Fucking hot box. Dirt here tastes like shit, says the guy who will later be lying in a puddle of his own piss. So here's a question. Should I say the number? Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to say the number first. It takes a second to say it. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to snap that to there instead. How long is it on screen for? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds or so. Let's say it's going to be on for 9 seconds. The average length of any still shot will be 9 seconds. I'm going to call it 001. And the next one is going to pick up audio where this ends. Like the next audio sequence that I'm going to use. So I'll snap that to here. And I'm going to do the same thing with the number. 1, 2. And now I'm going to duplicate this one. And snap it to here. This one's going to be 002. And this file name, I'm going to control copy it. And then paste it right here. So now this image will be the second image. Or it should be. Here we go. So we can get an idea now how this is going to play. Number 1. Fucking hot box. Dirt here tastes like shit, says the guy who will later be lying in a puddle of his own piss. Number 2. Obvious spotter with a cell phone. ROEs say don't shoot, even though everyone in the audience knows he's a spotter. In this way, we can pretend the ROEs were dumb too. So I'm going to add a second to the end of this. 1, 2, 3. Snap that to the end. Next audio clip. That one. Shift snap. That's a second. That's 2 seconds. I'll be wanting the video from then onward. Shift D, bring it to here, snap it together. This is now 003. I want the third still of the sequence. Control C to copy it. Control V to paste it. Change it to replace. Number 3. A wrist bandolier, clearly visible. Product placement, and not chronologically correct. Since 9 seconds is the shortest distance or the shortest period of time I'm going to allow a frame to be on. There are some exceptions to this. I'll show you when we get to one of those exceptions. The exception we'll first find is at 21. Here comes the next piece of audio. Kyle mentions it in the book. Oh, I need to bring this back here. This is actually longer than I expected. I could do this as well. Could grab this. Oops, sorry. Grab that and bring this back. And then snap that one to there. And then add a second to the end of the audio and make that a little longer. A wrist bandolier, clearly visible. Product placement, and not chronologically correct. Kyle mentions it in the book, specifically how he invented it and sells them at his sniper school business. Number 4. Number 4, I want the fourth image, control copy, control V, set it to replace. I'll be doing that to all of these just to make sure. I'm going to leave this first one set to cross for now because I'm duplicating the first one. No motion, just a still image, still image, still image. It doesn't need to be any more, sorry, it doesn't need to be any more difficult than that. Number 4. Eyes on this, can you confirm? No, is the answer. There's a witness right next to him, and the witness doesn't have a pair of binoculars. Here comes the next one. Oh, shoot. Shift S. This is 5. It's going to be set to replace when I get to track 5, or, sorry, still 5, image 5, slide 5, if you will. Number 5 is his first kill. Then cut back to deer hunting. No apologies to Michael Camino, and none to Homer either, who uses media in medias res way better. So this one needs to be a little longer. That one. This one, copy, duplicate, bring it to here. That was 5, here's 6. Control copy, control paste. Really couldn't be any easier than this. Is copy pasta most of the way. Don't leave your rifle in the dirt, says Dad. And it's not in the book. And only in the movie to foreshadow a later scene when Kyle leaves his rifle in the sand, which is... Don't leave your rifle in the dirt, says Dad. And it's not in the book. And only in the movie to foreshadow a later scene when Kyle leaves his rifle in the sand, which is also not in the book. Here we duplicate that one. Add a little ahead of time. What was that last one? That was 6, right? So I'm looking for 7 next. 007. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 for the spacing. This is 9 seconds, which is the average length of that I've been using for video information. I could, so this is 007, I'm going to control copy it, paste it, set it to replace. Could make it shorter. The preacher on Paul is more annoying and dangerous than the Muslims calling the faithful to prayer. Number 7. The preacher on Paul is more annoying and dangerous than the Muslims calling the faithful to prayer. All right. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's 2 seconds plus there. I'm going to go a second and a third. So it's a little longer than well, it's a little shorter than what the average one would be, but the gap is only a little bit longer between the audio pieces. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 for the next one. Referring always to number 1 here for the duplication. Snap it there. This would be what, 8? Control copy. I'm going to go down here, paste it over, set it to replace. Go to the end, add a second. Snap it. Number 8. There's 3 kinds of people in this world, son. Sheep, wolves, and sheepdogs. Not only is this not in the book, but it obviously owes more to Warner Brothers than it does to the Bible. Cartoon morality is what deacons do best. Morning, Bill. Morning, Sam. Next one is 9. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Copy that. Paste it. Set it replace. Repetition. Number 9. Shooting the rodeo. Number 10. This one's really fast. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, 1, 0. We snap to there. We're looking for that one. I'm going to copy it, paste it, replace it. See how this is going to work out all right, I think. Rodeo belt buckles are to ensure a sex life. Again, I'm going to do like I did the last time, which is to make the gap just a tiny bit longer. Snap that together. Look for the next break. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 would be right about there. I'm waiting for when the next slide's going to pop, is what I mean. Duplicate and bring that over. Snap it. Label it. Get the proper footage. Copy the file name. Paste it. Just Control C, Control V there over the various drop-down dialogues. Set it to replace. And check. Number 11. Why do you think I do this, huh? I do it to get attention. So much for drama and for acting. Number 12. The Herzog thing does work. I don't care what anyone says. Makes me laugh every time I hear it. When the tone is right, when it's just so, it's excellent. Looking for 12. I'm going to copy it, I'm going to paste it, set it to replace, have some fun. Righteous indignation because he watches CNN whenever he can't find Fox on the television. Good time for me to take a little break, I think. I'm using my body to tell me when to do such things. What we got here in the thing? A lot of help. Not a lot. So, I'm going to take a short break. It won't be very long. I'll put up the break sign just so anyone happens to be watching can know that this is not for anything longer than a few minutes. But I need to get some music playing. See? Something in the background. This is Chris Osmond's Blue Moon. You can check out my channel actually for recorded music by these guys, like live performances. I mean, I don't do them all. I don't do all of their gigs or anything, but I did record them once this past year. I'll be right back.
We got a little funky number for you, a new one I've been writing not too long ago. It's called You Weren't Ready Yet. You hold me close, and then you let me go. You play your games, you can't fool Rolling Stone. You look so good, and it felt so right. You take what you own, honey, or when you leave tonight. And now you claim you're loving, and you said you care. But actions speak. The woods and the deer, yeah. Now your best bet for my regret. I can't forget you weren't ready yet. Now your best bet for my regret. I can't forget you weren't ready yet. I
myself seriously. Thinking here seriously about what I could do with the whole Herner Wertzock thing. Because that's totally worth doing. I like the idea of working with Herner Wertzock in the future. Okie dokie. Karaoke, yeah. Those who know that joke. That's where it comes from. Okie dokie. So 1, 2, 3, yeah, and a little tiny bit more. That'll do. Or let's go back at 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's close enough for government work. This next one's longer. It's got a bunch of them all together, so this should be fast. Not a lot of shoving around. We can see though that the time that's being saved by the cuts is currently measured longer than a minute. So by the time I get to the end of this, I should save. Maybe it'll be only 45 minutes long, maybe a little shorter than that, with all of the removals. That's everything which was removed. And I really need to get a little something to drink and have a break. Not a big break or anything, just a break from working hard. Break from all of this thinking. Number 13. Let's have a look at how much this overlaps. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yep, there we go. Number 13. Looking for this one. I could do myself a favor and copy one of these over here and then start copying that one instead. To duplicate it up here and then duplicate this one so that it's nearer to where I'm working and I still have this 9-second gap. This was 13, we said yes. Oh, sorry, 0, 1, 3. Looking for 13's, control copy in this by hovering over. Control V by hovering over that one. Set it to replace and check. Oh, this one will have to be moved out of the way though, or it'll show up. Number 13, recruitment. I don't quit. Number 14. So this is a nice fast one. I can think of putting that one to bed there. Go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 for the next one. I'll duplicate again, snap it, move that along a little. This is 14, right? Again, copy. Again, paste. Again, set to replace. When I do that, it automatically updates the image. Buds, basic underwater demolitions. Not chronologically accurate. Number 15. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3. So there's a 2-second gap between each thing and the number is read out while the gap occurs. I like that. I think that works really well. And this was what? 15? Copy. You can see a time code that's been explicitly listed into each of these file names as well. I did that when I took them. How old are you, boy? 30. Not according to the book, he wasn't. Number 16. Again, a 2-second gap. I'll snap that together. 16 is next. Lots of clicky clicky, a lot of copy pasty. Not a lot of thinking really, just a lot of repetition. I'll grab that and move it along again. Biggles, aka Job, doesn't follow the story of the book at all. Number 17. Job was one of his buddies that got killed in the 24-hour period. 2 of them did. 17 next? Yes. Yes, 17. Yeah, yeah. 17's right here. Copy. Paste it. That one updated automatically, you might notice. Oh. Number 17. The end of Hell Week, as if that was the end of training. Number 18. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3. Skipping ahead there by 10 frames at a time. Number 18. Get the right file name. Update it. Change the display method. Meet Taya, plus the idiot who strikes out first. Number was the end of training. Number 18. Meet Taya, plus the idiot who strikes out first. Number 19. This is 19. Getting down to some of the interesting ones. I got a different sequence to deal with coming up here soon, which is I took a series of still shots to illustrate a point more than just with a single frame. That doesn't happen very often. It doesn't have a chance to happen very often in this particular project. Number 19. The charming redneck joke. 1, 2, 3, 1. I'd say this is about here. Number 19. The charming redneck joke. Number 20. This is 20, yeah, 0, 2, 0. Copy, paste. I don't even need to click on the context. I only need to hover over the context menu, which is what makes this fast as heck. Let's check it. Number 20. Kyle defends his patriotism, but not his behavior. Let's say that that's as long as that needs to be. Snap. Number 21. True. Duplicate. Snap it together. 21. Number 21. Introduce booze. Then show his sense. Because 21 hasn't been updated yet, we can see it here better. Copy. Paste. Set to replace. Introduce booze. Then show his sensitivity by making sure she doesn't get puke in her hair. Ah, he really cares. This one's a little longer than some. What's the next one? I gotta see. Number 22. Yeah, so there's a bunch of shots to go in this one. Here's a tricky one. I'm going to let the first shot, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's going to be 2 seconds long. I'll snap it there. Now they're going to duplicate this one and snap it right to the next one. And this one's going to be called 22.1, as is done. But I need this updated copy file name. Paste again. Make sure it's set to replace or cross, doesn't matter which. So watch. Introduce booze. Then show his sensitivity by making sure she... So there'll be a series of still shots here which are all related to one another. Seeing as it carries on the action of this particular moment. Introduce booze. Then show his sensitivity by making sure she doesn't get puke in her hair. Copy. Paste. Next one. Duplicate. Snap. Copy. Paste. Next one. Duplicate. Shift D. Shift S to snap it together. Copy. I might want to use less than 2 seconds per by the look of it. E, F. So now the next one is going to be G. Copy, paste. And now this one, Shift D, snap it. This is H. Copy and paste. And then the next one, I. Copy and paste. Oh, shoot. Control Z. I need to duplicate it first, snap it, then copy it. So I could make all of these smaller. That might be the real thing to do. Make these all smaller by some equal amount and perhaps even start them playing a little faster. So let's snap to that one. I do like 2 seconds for the first one. The ones that follow can be faster. So 1 second and a third maybe. Snap and a third. The next one, snap 1, 2, 3, 1. Snap there again. Next one, 1, 2, 3, 1. Snap. Snap again. 1, 2, 3, 1. Snap. Snap again. 1, 2, 3, 1. Snap. Snap again. 1, 2, 3, 1. Snap. And snap one more. It's the last one, right? Number 21. Introduce booze. Then show his sensitivity by making sure she doesn't get puke in her hair. Ah, he really cares. Ah, I know what I can do here. Well, first of all, this one here is going to be set to cross and then replaced to make sure that there's no mess ups here in these images when the render time comes. I think what I'm going to do is move this audio apart a little. And I'll do that by shift cutting it twice. And then moving these over. Like that. And like this. Number 21. Introduce booze. Then show his sensitivity by making sure she doesn't get puke in her hair. Ah. He really cares. I think that's one of the better things I've done so far in this whole project. That's quite funny. I find it hilarious. I recognize. It's all I recognize. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Because there's a 2 second pause generally between them. Duplicate. Bring that down. Snap it over. This is what? 22. Copy. Paste it. Rename it. Set it to replace. Sniper School. Number 22. Sniper School. I think there's probably a cut there, yeah? 1, 2, 3. I'm going to snap that from there onward, see. Sniper School. The film doesn't mention that Kyle signed up for an intelligence job when he volunteered. And the book explicitly states that Kyle wasn't trained as a sniper until after his first tour of duty was over. Oh, that worked well. Having it go back to the first frame again. I'm going to snap that together. Less of a pause. Sniper School. The film doesn't mention that Kyle signed up for an intelligence job when he volunteered. And the book explicitly states that Kyle wasn't trained as a sniper. I'm going to copy that one, bring it down, snap it to here. And I'm going to grab that and move it over the way here again. This one doesn't need to be this long. 1, 2, 3 at the very most. And it's a duplicate of the very first frame. So it's the second time we've used the first frame. When he volunteered. And the book explicitly states that Kyle wasn't trained as a sniper until after his first tour of duty was over. Snap that one over. In fact, I'm going to do something else too while I'm at it. I'm going to grab a bunch of these and move them over. Move them back now. Let's find the ones that have the smallest amounts of gaps in them. Grab this with a box command up to about here. Grab and limit it to the X location. Was over. The book does mention that he signed up for an intelligence job. I'm going to get rid of that. In the interest of time, 1, 2, 3, snap. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The next one will be required here. The next still. Snap that over. What was the number? 25? Number 23. 23, right. Copy. Paste it. Set it to replace. Snap that son of a gun back. Number 23. Phone calls to Taya. If it wasn't for phone calls, they might never have talked to one another, is the implication. Number 24. Duplicate, bring it down, snap it over. 24 is the number. Get the frame. Get the file name. Copy it over. Change the method. Dr. Phil Kyle. That's a shitty thing to say. Kyle says loads of shitty things in the book. 1, 2, 3. Yep, perfect. Look at that. Snappity, snappity, snappity. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Ready for this one. Bring it down, snap it over. Move that one out of the way. This is what, 25? Need the file name. Lots of repetition that doesn't make for a hard project. 25. The film implies that he couldn't shoot for shit until he got Taya in the sack. Number 26. One, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, number 26. I might actually go back a little bit there. The gap is a little shorter than 2 seconds there. That's the only difference. It's 26. Yeah, the rattlesnake. Number 26. Shoots a rattlesnake. Not in the book. Number 27. That's better. Duplicate, snap over, rename it. Get the frame, get the name, copy it over, set the method, ready to go. Number 27. September 11th, 2001. This event is mentioned in the book. It's so funny. We'll snap that there. Looking for another piece of audio here. Oh, we got a long one coming. Excellent. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Duplicate, bring it down, snap it over. 28. Number 28. Proposal for marriage. Kyle supposedly has everything planned except he's like Indiana Jones, making it up as he goes along. Number 29. Making a guess there as to how far I should put that over, because I'm sometimes making creative choices on the fly and sometimes not. Sometimes following the formula and letting that do the work. But in order to keep this moving along nicely, has everything planned except he's like Indiana Jones, making it up as he goes along. Number 29. Tour number 1, Fallujah. The book disagrees. Number 30. I'm still maintaining the European accent here, but only just. Number 30, huh? Excellent. Copy. Give me the file. Give me the method. Please. Number 30. Man, they got this one sniper's been hitting headshots. Film ham-fistedly introduces the main villain, who is obviously a crazy fanatic because he doesn't go for center of mass shots like a pro. Number 30. Yeah, there's the better spot, and this needs to be longer. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 2 seconds or thereabouts for a gap. That's excellent. Duplicate, bring it down, snap it over, rename it. 31. Get the file. Paste the name. Ooh, shoot. Paste the name. Replace. For center of mass shots like a pro. Number 31. Resume from the beginning. In medias res is a very ancient storytelling technique, but this movie does not deserve any awards for using it. Number 32. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So true. Look at how I managed to get two shots there of the same information 30 years apart. Or 20 years apart. I don't know, man. Was this 32, was it? Sounded like. Oh, shoot. There we go. A1, A1. Number 32. Kill number 1. A kid. Not in the book. And the witness is supposed to tell us what to think about it. One, 2, 3, 1. This is going to be a series of 5 shots. 2, 3. Let's try it with 2-second gaps first. Duplicate. Snap. Get the next one. Copy it. Paste it. Go to the next one. Duplicate. Snap it. Copy it. Paste it. Go to the next one. Duplicate it. Snap it. Copy it. Paste it. Go to the next one. Duplicate it. Snap it. So easy, so repetitive. There's hardly any thinking involved. 1, 2, 3. There we go. I think this is right. Number 32. Kill number 1. A kid. Not in the book. And the witness is supposed to tell us what to think about it. This is the second one here. Duplicate, bring it down, snap it over. 33. Copy, paste, set it to replace. See what this one is. Number 33. Kill number 2. A mom. Is in the book, more or less. Again, calling her evil bitch doesn't make it so, but I'm sure everyone in the audience needed to have that pointed out. The movie consistently puts words Kyle would say into other people's mouths. This is a long one. The kid had a bunch. The mother doesn't get them. She's called evil bitch. She doesn't get a lot of shots. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3. That's good. We'll duplicate, bring it down, snap it over, rename the file to what it's supposed to be is 034. Here's 034. I get the file name. Update it. Change and replace. Number 34. Where is everybody? The comic book is a graphic novel scene. And is very punishing indeed. Here we go. Snap. Grab that, move it over here out of the way. Snap this one over. Here comes a long one. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Ooh, let's go on 2 on that one. Duplicate, bring it down, snap it over. This is 35. Copy. Paste. Or a plus. Number 35. Dude, that was evil like I ain't never seen before. And not how I envisioned the first one would go down. To paraphrase the spotter, Kyle's definition of evil is plastic and subject to much debate. Next 4 items are a composite mess of stories. Next 4 items are a composite mess of stories found in the book. 36. These are really, really quick. All of them are short. Shorter than the average one up to now. But since it's a composite mess of stories, I don't need to really show much of this information too fast. 36. Overwatch, Einstein, partly in the book. Number 36. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So about 4 seconds in length. Overwatch, Einstein, partly in the book. Number 37. 1, 2, 3, 1. We'll duplicate this one this time. Snap. Set it to 37. Get 37. Copy, paste it. Set it to replace. Same with that one. 7. Kyle pegs the driver of a car bomb. Number 38. So it's even shorter than the last one. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. 1 will do. Duplicate. Bring it over. 038. Snap that son of a gun. Catch it. Get the file name. Pasta. Set it. Replace. Car bomb. Number 38. Kyle pegs a man setting an IED. Number 39. Kyle pegs. 1, 2, 3, 1. Duplicate, bring it here, 39. Need the file. Update it. See how this works. Number 39. Kyle pegs an insurgent with an AK. Number 40. Three, 1, 2. That'll be good there, I think. Number 40. How many was that? Was that 4? Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the 4 that are all in the book. This next one isn't. Snap. I'm looking for 40, huh? Copy. Paste. Replace. Number 40. Mustafa gets a kill while Kyle is working. Not in the book. Number 41. We'll snap it to there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 2 will do, I think. Snap. Grab that out of the way. 41. It's easy to remember the numbers when I've got them all labeled there in the window in the file tree as well, so I can easily refer to those when I'm losing place. But if I click on it first to get the name in here, then it also acts as a place marker. Number 41. Smells like piss in here. Kyle was the one who pissed. It wasn't any Iraqis or insurgents either. 1, 2, 3, 1. Snap that one back. Looking for the next piece of audio. Snap. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, perfect, that one. Duplicate, bring it over. 42. Grab, move it over. Copy to get the file name. Paste the file name. Set it to replace. Number 42. Gonna write out some shooter statements. How many? 6. Control V. Replace. Number 42. Gonna write out some shooter statements. How many? 6 plus 2 unconfirmed. Kyle inflates his own ego at the same time as he inflates his kill. 1, 2, 3. That is something which you notice in the book. The difference between the movie and the book is that kind of thing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Duplicate. Snapola. Grab, move. This is what, 43? I need the name. Pasting it over. Set it replace. He's carrying a Quran. Look, I don't know what a Quran looks like. Psst. Kyle, you genius. It's a fucking book. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's a book at the best of times. I suppose it is. You could argue that there are times that it's not in book form. It's been memorized. So as to avoid burning and the like. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 44. And that should be set to replace. Yep. Kyle, you genius. It's a fucking book. Number 44. Ball-breaking legend. Up till now, his nickname is supposed to be Tex. Delivered by Biggles, not in the book. Kyle responds by throwing food at him instead of starting a fist fight. One, two, three, 1, 2. So somewhat less than 2 seconds now, since the numbers are actually long enough to require a few seconds just to say them. This is what, 44, 45. Copy that bugger, passed it down. Set replace. Starting a fist fight. Number 45. You killed anyone yet? Taya, who is presented as being semi-critical of warfare at the beginning of the movie, secretly taking perverse pleasure in knowing she's married a killer. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3. Ooh, right there. Duplicate it, bring it down, snap it on. Move this one out of the way. 46. Number 46. If you was 300 pounds. Oh, that's so romantic. How's my boy? Psst. Obvious sarcasm was ruled out in rehearsals, and instead they decided to play it as if this was romantic. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3. Oh, Pearl, look at that. Oh, yeah. A longer one there. Don't need to resize this either. A 9-second gap in the length of delivery. 47. Copy. So there's over 200 of these sons of guns to do. This is the clicking. Number 47. Part. Melodrama over little brother Kyle being sent to Iraq with the Marines. Number 48. Ah, this one needs to end here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Well, wherever that is, plus or minus a couple frames, huh? Yeah, I'll just put it right there. Duplicate, snap it. 48 it is. I already got it selected, so I'll copy pasta, set it to replace. Marines. Number 48. Headshed briefing on Al-Qaeda assets and local power structure. Number 1 dude, Zarqawi. Only reason to use Zarqawi is because of all the news coverage, not because he was in Fallujah. Number 49. There's truth in that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I can see the click there, so I'm wondering about perhaps positioning this to coincide with the sound in the file underneath. Make it sound like I'm clicking something to get it to pop up when I actually am not. Number 39. Let's coach up Marines. Because SEALs are actually trainers and personnel coaches when they're not watching porn and playing video games like the book describes. Number 50. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Here's the next one. Duplicata. And grab and move her. 50. Wow, we're up to 50? Woo! Wonderful. I'm like at a quarter distance. This is excellent. Number 50. Let those dogs sniff out Zarqawi. Mark Lee speaks to Kyle. Dogs refers to regular infantry and Marines implies SEALs are a higher class or something. Number 50. One, two, three, one, two, three, right about there. Duplicate, bring it down, snap it over, grab that one, move it out of the way. This is 51. Copy. And pasta. Set to replace. 51. Mustafa is not an Iraqi, but a Syrian Olympic shooter. No sense in saying he's Iranian when Syria is overrun with ISIS. Number 52. Yeah, it's the spotter delivers all that information. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Where'd you get his info, though? Where'd you get your friggin' 411, dude? Different place than I did? Doubt it. Artificial intelligence, I think it's called. Control Z. We're looking for 52. Paste that over, set it to replace. 52. Fuck this. I'm gonna go clear houses with Marines. You coming? Don't cower out on Kyle. This scene isn't in the book, but his views on cowardice are. He made George Patton look like Shirley Temple. $53. If you don't know what I'm referring to there with George Patton, he had a love-hate relationship with shell shock. Number 53. Training up means let me lead. How do you spell control issues? Number 54. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 1. I'm going to snap this one here. Snap that one there. Go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 2 will do. Duplicate, bring it down, snap it over. 54. Copy. Parasta. Number 54. Kyle, interrogation sniper. The only interrogator in Iraq that didn't use waterboarding. Number 50. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 1. Duplicate, bring it down, snap it over. This one needs to move. $55. Copy. Paste. Set it to replace. Number 55. Local warlord and mini bad boss guy is ID'd. He come. He drill. Drill. Not in the book. Number 50. Yeah, I'll have that for an impression, huh? There's no sense in me using the soundtrack when I can get away with it using my own voice. I can imitate everything in that movie. That tells you just how little it required an Oscar. Uh, 56. Great time for me to take a little break after this. Perhaps listen to something on YouTube while we're doing so. I don't know. Number 56. Sir, first platoon's planned down. Who is the sir? There. Number 57. Yeah, nobody seems to know who sir is. Someone comes in and says, sir. But Kyle isn't a sir. He's apparently a sniper, an interrogation sniper. Ooh, look at that. 57. Duplicate. Snap. 57 needs this file association. Set to replace. Number 57. Intelligence headshot. Kyle turns up an unknown alias. Right. Not in the book. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3. Duplicate. Snap it. Grab that, move it out of the way. 58. Copy. And pasta. Number 58. Headshed. The term is in the book. Gonna want contractors in and on it. We're hunting dollars. Not in the book. No mention whatsoever of ever humping dollars in Kyle's book. None whatsoever. All right. I'm going to close down that window just for a second. Live chat is here. Live chat ain't gone nowhere. Pete concurrent. I probably got somebody watching right now for all I know. Yeah, I'm going through this project. This project is a long labor of love, which I started some time ago because I watched American Sniper, but also because I read American Sniper. The only reason I'm doing this is because I watched the movie having read the book, and the two of them don't go well together at all. And the number one thing to bear in mind if you've become a fan of the book, the movie, is that indeed American Sniper, the book, establishes that Kyle, when he volunteered, applied and asked for an intelligence job. Now, that wasn't mentioned at all in the movie. And it was also downplayed in the book as if it didn't happen. But he never says that it didn't happen. And I think we might want to bear that in mind when it comes to analyzing the movie and the book. I don't know if I should just stop altogether because it's Fives Day now. It's going to be Fives Day in a little while. Well, let's see what I got on the go here. I got my project half done. I could go look and see if there's anything worth watching on YouTube. I was watching some things earlier today that were making me laugh, but they're not in the same state of affairs as the rest of the week. They're not things that I really want to talk about. I mean to say, I haven't got any dog in the proverbial races. I have been watching with interest, though, the ongoing drama involving Kraut and T, as well as those who seem to be allied against him or aligned against him, and who also seem ready to try to construe what happened as if it was worse than what actually happened. In particular, one guy in particular seems to be doing this for the lols, or the clicks, or for the income he'll make. But he does have a bit of a credit problem. So that's as much as I'm saying about that. Video cam over. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it quits for maybe a half an hour or so, and then I'll set it up again when I'm going back into the job here, rather than let the stream continue to stream. Well, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should just kind of let it go. I like resetting the day, the day counter. That's enough of this. I'm going to be back in half an hour or less. My name's James PFP. This is Pitchforks and Flaming Torches, the Banjocast. I'm joining you from Dagobah, Please, Luke, come to Dagobah. If you like what you see, please remember to subscribe and leave a comment below if you haven't left a comment in the chat. The video should be up and online for, after the fact viewing, probably within the hour. And keep an eye out on the page here. I'm probably going to be streaming again within half an hour because I want to get this project done, and it's only about a quarter done. So thanks for watching. I will catch you in about half an hour or to an hour.